Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Roger's Reflections on Saturday, November 21st in the year 2020. Today I'm going to be reading from the Psalms again, from a very familiar psalm, but I'm focusing in on one verse. Today I'll be reading from the 23rd Psalm, verse 4. This one just kind of stood out to me, and I thought I'd reflect on that and share some thoughts with you today. Psalm 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. In what I grew up with, the King James Version, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So I think what it says, and this is, David speaking, and he understands what it means to walk in the dark valley, the shadow of death. And we all are going to be in that valley at some point or time or another. Life is going to be oftentimes, surprisingly, is overshadowed. Death kind of comes into our lives in shadows, and the shadow is cast over our lives, and it affects a lot. And so even though we walk through that valley, and maybe we're fearful. And, people don't understand death. And, we had this assurance that we're going to be okay, that we're going to be on, that God is waiting on the other side of that veil. But it's still, in a sense, unknown. There's still something that's just not, we can't touch it, we can't handle it. And so people are afraid of that transition. And we're worried about, about what might happen. And so he says, even though David walks through the dark valley, the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I won't fear anything, even though death overshadows, even though all this dark stuff overshadows me. I'm not going to fear evil. Why? Because God is with me. And thy rod and thy staff. That's what helps sheep. Talking about the great shepherd. That's what helps sheep. The rod and the staff, they guide and direct and protect. It's nice to know that the tools of the shepherd are at hand, and he will protect the sheep. And so God's tools, i.e., His Holy Spirit, His Word, His other disciples, music, books, just worship service. There's a lot of tools that are available that will provide comfort and provide support and will make you feel safe even in the darkest of days. Even when evil seems to be caving in on you, know that God is with you and He will comfort you and He will protect you. That, my friends, is good news. Take care, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.